So, today we're going to dive into something really cool. It's actually a guide made for young students in Nigeria. But trust me, the main lesson here about history, it's a powerful one for every single one of us, doesn't matter where you live.
Okay, so the guide kicks off with a really big question. Let me ask you this. When you hear the word history, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's memorizing dates, famous battles, all that stuff. But what if I told you there's a much more exciting way to look at it? Well, that's exactly what we're about to do.
And boom, this quote just hits the nail on the head. Forget those dusty old textbooks for a second. Picture yourself as a detective. See, history isn't something you just learn. It's something you actively go out and uncover. It's a real investigation into the biggest, most important story there is, your own. All right, so if you're a history detective, what exactly are you looking for, right? It's not just about gathering clues from the past. It's way bigger than that. You're actually unlocking a kind of extraordinary ability. And this right here, this is the main event. The single most important lesson from this guide is that history is a superpower. Seriously, it's not some boring, passive subject you just sit through in school. It's an active, dynamic power that you can actually use in your life, like right now. Okay, so a superpower. What does it actually mean? What does it do? Well, it breaks down into three incredible abilities. First, it helps you understand your culture. Second, it helps you figure out your own identity. And third, it gives you the power to make way better choices for yourself and for everyone around you. So, let's dive into each one of these, shall we? First up, let's talk about the most personal superpower of them all, using history as a tool for self-discovery. This is all about looking into the past to get a clearer picture of who you are right here, right now. And to really see how this works, we're going to follow a story. It's about a young boy named Tunde who's visiting his grandfather Baba in Nigeria. Think of his journey as our map, showing us exactly how this all works in the real world. So Tunde's adventure really kicks off as he is just exploring his grandfather's house. He starts finding these old family heirlooms, treasures, and he hears these amazing stories about ancient art, like the famous Knox statues. But here's the thing, he's not just finding objects, he's finding threads, and each one is pulling him into a story that is so much bigger than just him. What Tunde is really discovering here is his heritage. And that's not just some abstract word from a textbook, right? It's the living, breathing collection of all the stories, traditions, and achievements that make up the why behind who he is. And through that heritage, he's connecting with his ancestors. Again, these aren't just names on a family tree. No way. These are real people whose lives, their struggles, their successes, literally paved the way for his own life. And by understanding their story, he starts to make sense of his own. Okay, so we've seen how history shapes us as individuals. That's huge. But now let's see how that personal understanding grows into our second superpower, making our communities better, improving the way we all live together. You can think of history as a kind of guide or a roadmap. When we really look at the choices people made in the past, and I mean both the good stuff and the bad stuff, the successes and the failures, we get the wisdom we need to handle the challenges we're facing today. It's all about learning from what came before so we can build a better future. Now, the secret ingredient that makes all of this work, it's one word: empathy. See, history isn't just about the what happened. It's about the why. Why did it happen? From a totally human point of view. It's literally about trying to step into someone else's shoes from a different time. And this is where things get really, really powerful. When we take the time to learn the history of different groups of people, for example, the guide talks about the diverse cultures of the Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba in Nigeria, we start to actually understand their perspectives. And that understanding, it builds empathy, it helps break down prejudice, and it is the absolute foundation for living together more peacefully. All right, let's get to our third and final superpower. And this one's all about getting your hands dirty, becoming a real-life history detective. Because guess what? History isn't just locked away in books. It is literally all around you. The key to this is something called an artifact. And don't think of some dusty thing in a museum behind glass. No, an artifact is just any object made by a person that has a story locked inside it. It could be a simple bracelet, an old black and white photo, maybe a handwritten recipe card from your grandma. They're basically little time capsules. All we have to do is look at the world with the same curiosity that Tunde had. He was totally fascinated by the stuff in his grandfather's room because he figured it out. He realized they were like portals to the past. And the amazing thing is, those exact same portals, they exist in our homes too. So here it is. Here's your mission should you choose to accept it. And it's super simple. Step 1, find an object at home. Anything. Step 2, ask the most important question. What story can this thing tell me? And step 3, talk to your family. Ask them about it. Connect that one little story to the giant, amazing story of who you are.
So there you have it. We've seen exactly why history is so important. It's not just a class you have to take. It's a mission. It's a whole set of superpowers, and they're now yours to use. So let's do a quick recap of your new superpowers. Number 1, identity. You can discover who you are. Number 2, community. You can build empathy and unity. And number 3, artifacts. You can find incredible stories in the most ordinary, everyday objects. You know, the student guide this was all based on ends with a homework assignment. So now it's your turn. I want you to just look around you, right now. Your history isn't tucked away in some faraway library. It's right there, in your home, just waiting for its detective to show up. So the only question left is, what story are you going to uncover first?